May 8th marks the 72nd anniversary of the Allied victory over Nazi Germany, or as we commonly know it, VE Day. The formal acceptance of the Third Reich's unconditional surrender in 1945 ended the war in Europe. The Allied win came at the cost of millions of lives on both the Western and Eastern fronts. The final weeks of the war in Europe marked the deaths of two of its most important architects. On April 25th, Benito Mussolini was captured by pro-Allied Italian communists near Lake Como. 3 days later, he was executed and his body was eventually disfigured and hung upside down in Milan. German Chancellor Adolf Hitler, who had been holed up in his personal bunker since mid-January, didn't last much longer. Facing the Soviets' assault on Berlin, he ultimately chose suicide on April 30th. There was only one thing left for the Third Reich's remaining leadership to do: surrender. Hitler's successor, Admiral Karl Donitz, dispatched representatives to Rents, and by May 7th, the first instrument of surrender was signed. A second and definitive document was signed in Berlin the following evening. For the citizens of the victorious nations, news of the German surrender was not immediately revealed. While the Allied leaders had originally agreed upon holding off any announcement until May 9th, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill had other plans. On the night of the 7th, Britain's Ministry of Information released a statement saying, "In accordance with arrangements between the three great powers, tomorrow, Tuesday, will be treated as Victory in Europe Day and will be regarded as a holiday." The response was immediate. Thousands took to the streets of London to celebrate the end of more than 5.5 years of war. The next day, Churchill officially declared the end of the war in Europe over the radio. He later joined the royal family to celebrate with the 20,000 people who had gathered outside of Buckingham Palace. Back here in the States, where the country was still mourning the recent death of President Franklin Roosevelt, the news was marked by church bells and cheers. VE Day also happened to coincide with President Harry Truman's birthday. In his address to the nation, he claimed, "Our victory is only half over," referring to the ongoing fighting with the Japanese Empire in the Pacific Theater. Despite the caveat, he still called it his most enjoyable birthday. In the Soviet Union, word didn't really get out until the 9th, when a radio broadcaster announced the surrender around 1 a.m. For the Soviets, who experienced the largest number of casualties of any of the warring nations, it was the end of the Great Patriotic War. To this day, Russia continues to celebrate what they call Victory Day on May 9th. VE Day remains a symbol of the Allied victory over Nazi Germany and a testament to the brave men and women who served and sacrificed to end the war in Europe.